Hey guys, and welcome back to Cornerstone Youth Markham's YouTube channel. My name is Sarah, and I'm so excited to finish off our series called Cancelled, where we're learning how to love others the way God calls us to. So these past few weeks we've been talking about how to love the groups of people that we might want to cancel. So today I'm going to be eating the foods that I absolutely hate and see if I still want to cancel them. Are you excited? I'm not. Okay guys, this is a challenge I never thought I would be making, but now I have to go through with it. So, from order of least scary to me to most awful, I have placed 5 items as you can see here. So first are pickles. I don't remember ever loving pickles as a child, so I don't know how I'll feel about them now. The second thing is olives. I have memories of trying to eat olives and I always hated them, so again, not looking forward to this. Third is this fruit right here called papaya. So if you have ever heard of this fruit, it kind of has a consistency of like a cantaloupe, so like a melon, but it's just not like sweet. I don't know, I've never found it very appealing, so I'm gonna see if I like it now. And then here are some grape tomatoes. I abhor tomatoes. I remember from a very young age hating eating the tomatoes or like biting into it. I would just scream. I hate them. And then the last thing, which is the scariest one for me, this is a stick of licorice. I was trying to find the actual licorice, but actual licorice has gluten in it, which I can't have. So this stick is licorice flavored. I'm not ready. I've put all the items on a plate except for the licorice stick, and I'm gonna try them in order of the least offensive to the most offensive. So I'm gonna start in with this pickle here. Oh wait, hold on a second. I've begun to eat cucumbers during quarantine, and this is just like a really sour cucumber. Yes, that's what they are. They are sour cucumbers. I don't mind this. Oh my gosh. I have matured. I have grown into my peak self, which eats cucumbers and vinegar. So pickles, not canceled. All right, the next one, olives. Oh, it smells nasty. What is that? Ugh, ugh. That was nasty. I couldn't even like eat the olive. I had to spit it out. So that gets a no. Olives are canceled for me. The next one is papaya. Hopefully this will treat me better than the olives. What? What? Huh? Who? This is a really strange fruit because it's not exactly very sweet. It's not sour. It tastes like an orange that didn't really ripen enough, and then you're left with the sad remains. I don't like this. This is still canceled for me. We have now made it to the hard part. I have to eat this tomato, and I already know I'm gonna hate it because I hate tomatoes, and I've hated it for a long time. So if I actually like this, shock and horror. So here we go. No, rejected, no. I could cry. That was so nasty. I'm not breathing out of my nose right now so that I don't have to taste this disgusting flavor inside of my mouth. If you wanted to kill me, just feed me a bunch of tomatoes. I think I would just collapse. Tomatoes strongly canceled. Guys, this has been so emotionally challenging. Okay, we're on to the last one. This licorice flavored candy stick. My poor tongue. I'm gonna have to eat like ice cream after this. What? Why do people create these things? It's like someone coughed disease into your mouth. This is like If you really, really hated someone and you just were like, here, have some candy. This is the candy of haters. It's so gross. Literally, guys, I can't. Licorice, still canceled. So, in review, as I'm trying not to breathe out of my nose, I will still cancel all 4 out of these 5 foods, except for the pickles. The pickles can stay with me. I might eat more of them after this. But everything else was horrendous. So if you want to try this at home, please do not blame me if things start coming out the other way. But that was super disgusting. Okay, so we've discussed a lot about cancel culture in this series, which is what happens when people troll and start online fights, or when people jump onto celebrity drama with the hashtag #NameIsOver, or when people call out others for legitimate reasons, like when public figures say or do harmful things. But I don't want to talk about internet trolls and celebrity drama today. Today, let's talk about what happens when we have legitimate reasons to cancel someone. Last week, we talked about King Saul and his envy towards a man named David. Now, David was chosen by God to be the next king of Israel, but King Saul was so jealous that he tried to kill David several times. He even rallied his army of soldiers to hunt David down and kill him. Now, can we all agree that David had the best reasons to hate Saul? I mean, I would understand if David wanted to seek revenge against Saul, but here's what David did instead. So we're going to go into our Bibles and read from 1 Samuel 24 verses 1 to 7. David spares Saul's life. After Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told, "David is in the desert of En-Gedi." So Saul took 3,000 able young men from all Israel and set out to look for David and his men near the crags of the wild goats. He came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, 'I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish.'" Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Afterward, David was conscience-stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord." With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way. So let's talk about this. First, it's kind of funny that when Saul was trying to, take care of his washroom business in a cave, David was actually there. But David did not take the opportunity to kill or harm Saul. Instead, he just cut off a little bit of his robe, which he actually felt bad about, and then let him go. That's insane. So instead of taking revenge and letting hate guide his actions, David chose to show Saul love, and he showed him mercy. And mercy is a Bible word for showing compassion or forgiveness on someone who deserves punishment or harm instead. This didn't mean that David liked Saul or that he wanted to become his best friend, but they sort of made peace by the end of 1 Samuel 24, and then they left and never saw each other again for the rest of their lives. Disclaimer! This story is from a completely different time, in a completely different culture, and between 2 adults. The moral of the story is not to be nice to someone who is abusive or dangerous. And it's not to not ask for help when you're in danger. And it's not to not seek justice when someone has harmed you. If you are in a position now or have been in the past where someone, especially an adult, has been harming you or harming someone else, please let one of the leaders know that you trust or Pastor Kevin. God does not tell us to put ourselves in harmful situations or to endure abuse or violence. It doesn't honor God when you allow yourself to be hurt or mistreated. So God loves you, He sees you, and He has put these adults in your life to protect you. So please, if something is happening, let us know. We want to help you, okay? So if that's not the lesson we should be learning from this story, what is? Jesus challenges us to do something radical to our enemies. Love them. In Matthew 5, verses 44 to 45, Jesus says, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven." Although David lived many years before Jesus spoke these words, David understood that God wouldn't want him to return hatred for hatred. His decision to show love to Paul instead of plot revenge points to what Jesus challenges us to do. Love the people you want to hate. How can we put this into practice? Here are some tips based on what Jesus did on earth. When someone hurts you, don't be overcome by anger. Don't plot your revenge. Don't escalate the situation, i.e., make it worse, and don't react without thinking. Do stand up against injustice, whether it's for others or for yourself. Do breathe and walk away from heated situations. Do forgive your enemies, and do pray for them. It's hard to hate someone that you're consistently praying for. So this week, I challenge you to pray every single day for the person that you're tempted to hate. Ask God to help you to choose love instead of revenge. Okay guys, that wraps up this week's video. We are so glad that you've come along on this journey of Canceled with us, how we've all learned how to love others the way God intends us to. You know, we've learned to love people who aren't like us. We've learned to love people who are in need. We've learned to love people that we envy, and now we've learned to love people that we want to hate. How awesome is that God has shown us all these things through these 4 weeks. He is so good. So please let me know if you have done any of these challenges, made any of these changes, or have loved someone through these 4 weeks. I would be so honored to know. And also, follow us on Instagram because we post a lot of updates there. And every Wednesday we have a special youth called Trinity who takes over our Instagram and does some awesome stuff that you don't want to miss. So please join us on Instagram. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode. We will see you in the next one, and we love you guys. Bye!